If you're a voracious reader, you've certainly spent a lot of time looking for different types of books to satisfy your interest. You will not, however, have to waste your valuable time looking for books that you enjoy. Because I've researched a specific book genre for you, consider some books that come to you with the echoes of earlier interpretations, as well as the traces it left in the culture or cultures. Before talking about those books, I want to share a short summary of To Kill a Mockingbird with you. To Kill a Mockingbird Summary. The novel tells the story of Scout Finch and her family in the years leading up to and immediately following a rip from the headlines courtroom drama. The trials are especially dramatic because Scout's father, Atticus, is defending Tom Robinson, a black man accused of raping a white woman in a small southern town. To distill it even further, To Kill a Mockingbird is about prejudice and injustice of a particular time period and a community. Here are the 11 books to read if you like To Kill a Mockingbird. Of Mice and Men, by John Steinbeck. This book is mostly about two men, George and Lenny. George is the smaller one out of the two. However, he is very clever, and he always has his plans ready. On the other hand, Lenny is very big, but he has a very childlike mind to the point where he seems like a 4-year-old child. This novel, set in California during the Great Depression, is a story of loyalty with underlying mental illness and racism themes. This novel stands out for its juxtapositions of cruelty and kindness, privilege and poverty. The Great Gatsby, by F. Scott Fitzgerald. This is a novel that tells the story of socialite Jay Gatsby and his unrequited love for the beautiful Daisy Buchanan. The book offers readers a glimpse into what life might have been like during 1920s New York City while also exploring themes such as wealth, class distinction, aspiration, and obsession. The Alchemist, by Paulo Qualo. The Alchemist is a book about Santiago, an Andalusian shepherd boy who takes his sheep to the fields in the morning to find treasure. Along his journey, he meets different people and learns valuable lessons from them about life, love, and wisdom. He has many obstacles in front of him on his journey, but he never gives up because he believes that there are no such things as impossible odds. Santiago goes through many hardships throughout this story but always finds himself back at the same place where everything started, which was home. This book will teach you how to find your true self while following your dreams. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, by Mark Twain. Twain was a brilliant writer and had a remarkable knack for creating characters and purposeful situations. In this novel, each character has a different personality that highlights social problems, particularly hypocrisy and gullibility. The fight between civilized society and natural life, which in Huck's perspective represents the freedom of spirit and the desire to escape civilization, is the central theme of The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, by Carson McCullers. This book centers around the main character John Singer, a deaf-mute who moves into a boarding house in the 30s. He becomes the sounding board figure and therapist for several members of the town. The town is deeply impoverished and is going through the typical racial tensions and violence that every other town, especially in the South, was going through in the United States in the 1930s. This book is about our inability to know other people, the failure of communication and language, and about love and hate. Pride and Prejudice, by Jane Austen. This classic tale has captivated readers' imaginations for years and will continue to do so in the future. Pride and Prejudice is a fantastic book since the major topics are still relevant in our society today, despite the fact that it was first published almost 200 years ago. Social class and reputation were crucial factors determining whether someone would speak to you, associate with you in business, and even marry you. Through the protagonist, Elizabeth Bennet, millions of readers had learned the importance of staying true to yourself in an English society where no one would marry beneath their social class even when love was involved. Kindred, by Octavia E. Butler. Kindred is a cornerstone of Black American literature since it was the first science fiction novel authored by a Black woman. This novel combines slave memoir, fantasy, and historical fiction in a rich creative intricacy. Dana, an African-American lady, is wrenched back in time to antebellum Maryland, where she had just celebrated her 26th birthday in 1976 California. After saving a drowning white child, she finds herself staring into the barrel of a shotgun and is transported back to the present just in time to save her life. Dana is drawn back to the slave quarters repeatedly, and each time the stay becomes longer, more difficult, and more hazardous until it is unclear whether Dana's life will end long before it has a chance to begin. Animal Farm, by George Orwell. We first encountered the core notions of Animal Farm while growing up in the former communist bloc. It's simple to read, but contains a great deal of information. This fibula contains your government, your politician, your friends, and your family. There is no better book to get you thinking about corruption if your country is grappling with it. Fahrenheit 451, by Ray Bradbury. The novel, set in a dystopian future, offers the horrific story of a world where censorship has won, the written word has become illegal, and information has been reduced to sound bites, rendering everyone's attention spans ineffective. There has never been a better time to read this classic and let the hair on your arms stand up than now when it might feel like Twitter and social media reign supreme. The Kite Runner, by Khaled Hosseini. The Kite Runner accomplishes something that no other book on this list achieves. It makes you doubt yourself in ways we've never seen before. It's a fantastic book that you'll be glad you picked up. After that, you'll want to read everything else Khaled Hosseini has written. It's a violent kind of storytelling that sticks with you, it takes over your mind and soul in the same way an emotional roller coaster would. 1984, by George Orwell. Even if Orwell's vision did not come true, 1984 is one of the most well-known dystopian novels of all time. It did, however, provide us with a number of phrases that are now widely used in our modern society. The author's terrible vision of a totalitarian future, in which everything and everyone is a slave to a dictatorial state led by the party, is one that we now recognize as more true than when it was first published in 1949. With the NSA, the war on terror, and the rise of fake news being treated as fact, the world appears to be becoming more Orwellian by the day, and it's all the more terrible than an alien invasion, a nuclear war, or the oncoming climate crisis. If you read any more books like To Kill a Mockingbird, don't forget to comment below. I always love to hear from you.